Hello, it's me, Pandy from Pandy Man Entertainment, and today going to mention some stuff. So, World War One, my favourite war. I know you shouldn't have favourites. Favourite wars are bad, but this one really started the modern era of warfare. And don't get me wrong, trenches have been around before, foxholes have been around before. Everything kind of had been around, but it was the first time that it really got used in an industrial way. Um, and the machine, the cogs started turning, and yeah, lots of sad times. So, um, when doing research for books and stuff, I really dig into my now large library of World War One books. And one thing that we don't really hear about in the West, at least, mainly because our World War One focus in the education sector is very much based around the aspects of the Western Front, because that's one our closest front. The European operations were always going to take precedent. However, the war was more than just one area. We didn't just have the Australians and the New Zealanders. We didn't just have the Canadians. We had South Africans. We had people from all over the world, India especially. And India actually had a number of different expeditionary forces. Some of them originally went to the Western Front, then were moved to other places. We had Salonika as well. Salonika, very underappreciated by the UK and Italy. So very much saw it as a bit of a unnecessary at the time, unnecessary front. France and Serbia, very keen to get Serbia back, funny enough. But Britain and Italy, not so keen. But we left people there. It was part of the agreement. But yeah, weren't keen. We also had Mesopotamia and sort of Palestine, the sort of Middle East front as such. Now, in Mesopotamia, modern day Iraq, Syria, Iran area, we had oil fields in Iran or Persia, as it was then, and that's what we were guarding. Because our navy was running, it was, I think, the only one at the time that was running on oil. So yeah, we had that, and so we had to defend that. So that was the Indian Expeditionary Force D, but there was also the Black Watch. You also had, I think, the Hertfordshire's. Maybe I'm probably wrong on actually Hertfordshire's. I don't think they were there. But there was a lot of English. I think Devon and Dorset's were there as well. At least a battalion. So yeah, Palestine had the Suffolks as well as Indians and other, minorities. That was against the Ottomans, where the Salonika front was against Bulgarians. We also had the Western Front, obviously. We also had the Pacific as well. There was actually a Pacific theatre. Now, we didn't send a lot of troops there. We got Japan. Our allies, Japan, wanted to expand. They wanted to prove that they were helpful. So they joined the war. They were hugely successful. Now, originally, the German islands and places in China, Britain, that is, being we wanted Australia to have them. But Japan went, well, we're not doing it if Australia get them. Fair enough. So yeah, very interesting stuff. And yeah, we're really really excited to sort of see that. So that's just one thing that you can, you play around with the different ideas of terrain. You've also got to remember there was a whole sort of colonial fight in Africa, which is awesome. It's also something that you can do, and while that was more of a movement battle of movement, guerrilla fighting, you could still use the rules for trench offensive. So, in the meantime, keep peace.